Feel free to feel whatever you have to feel here.
So glad to see so many people. I see people giving hugs and greeting each other, and we want to give you a little time to do that. So we're going to tell you kind of where we're going tonight, just a little bit. So we have dinner right behind us here from our friends at Icaramba. If you don't know about them, you can get to know the good flavors and the love in the food. And then over here we have a lot of pictures and letters that people wrote us after the storm and some other things that you'll recognize from your time volunteering here maybe. And then we have some activities that you can do. So we invite you to paint a rock over here that can go on the altar. And then you'll see these beautiful flags above me. And then we're going to add some prayer flags to that. So if you want to make one and just put any message, a hope, a dream, whatever you want to put on there. And then that's the middle table. And then the last table back there, we want to kind of be our yearbook, if you will. So we want everybody to sign it and maybe put a message, something that you got out of the time. So we all came together in the aftermath of the storm. So if you'll do that, and while we're eating, and then we're going to gather everybody and do some singing and some reflection together in a healing circle. So I hope everybody feels welcome, and we're super glad that you're here tonight. And we're going to hear live tonight in 2 languages, which means that we speak the language of the heart. So everybody's welcome here.
So you haven't been here before. I think that this place is full of good energy. A lot of powerful things happen here. Many times after the hurricane, I was feeling that I was losing my hope in everything, and here I find my hope again. So it's a very powerful place. If you never have been here before, I hope that you feel the energy, that it's healing, and it's the power of we that we believe that we can create. I think that's something that for me have been very powerful after the hurricane is then sometimes I feel that we lost the essence of what it means to be human, and I think that this 27th of September of last year we reconnect with that. That raw humanity that we have inside was born again, and I like to call it like resurrection of the Appalachian, because we're back to the old times when we used to take care of each other, and I hope that we can live there forever. People ask us if we want to forgive this, and I say I don't want to forgive that. I want to live in this moment because we take care of each other and we don't wait for nobody. We want that somebody that can take care of everybody.
It truly is a gift. I'm so glad to see your beautiful faces. Some of you I get to see a lot. Some of you have been far away. Some of you came from far away. We have somebody from New Zealand here tonight with us. That might be the award for the farthest travel here tonight. But it's beautiful to see all of us and the beauty of our humanity, the strengths of our humanity, our hearts beating as one. I believe that we have something really important to do. We've been doing really important work together, and I think we have really significant work to do. Because what happened here in Appalachia, in the face of Hurricane Helene, I'm getting goosebumps right now, just talking about it. It's so powerful. The love, the connections, literally saving each other's lives, like all that happened. When we put aside every difference under the sun, and we said our difference is our strength, our difference is how we celebrate each other, it is our beauty. I believe that we have something to teach the world right now in these really toxic times that we live in, to show people. I remember saying so many times, if everyone is looking here, if the nation is looking here, if the world is looking here, let us show them how we love each other. Let us show them how we stand up for each other. How we support each other and make sure that everybody can survive and thrive. And we can do that every day. We can do that every day. That's the gift that we have. And I think it's a powerful one. So we're going to come together tonight. We've made some spaces in the room for our kids and our teens and tweens. So you'll see them kind of in their zone, doing their thing. We're raising up the next generation in that way, so support them and being who they are. One of my favorite things was we had a big gathering for Dia de los Muertos last year. It was really important last year to honor all of the people that we had lost in that way. It was very powerful and celebratory. And I remember the kids just running around playing, and it brought me great joy and painting their faces. And so they're here among us. So I just want to make them welcome. But we're going to do some singing tonight. I got to hear Coretta Scott King speak back in the 90s in Atlanta, and she said, we don't sing together anymore. And she said that was the heart of the movement. And I really believe that, maybe because I'm a singer and I like it. So we're going to gather together. This is the song that a woman named Queen Mother wrote, who was the elder in our community. And she crossed over several years ago, but you'll see her name on our food truck. She loved to cook, but she loved to call the ancestors in. That was one of the things she did. So one day she kind of started in kind of on this chant. And eventually I put it to music. And that's the song. So we're going to gather and sing in the language that calls to you. So we have English and Espanol there. And I think it's really powerful. In fact, this space was under upfit. Some of y'all remember this. So the room behind me was just a studded wall. We had just passed inspection, and there was a big thing of sheetrock here. So if you're here in the early days, we would say, if somebody brought a donation, hey, take it in and put it on the sheetrock. And that was our sorting table. It was so big, we couldn't move it. And there was a lot of donated furniture in here, so people started flipping over different random pieces of furniture and making shelves. We only had to play music in this little house. So Pancho's going to play a song.
La escribí con la mentalidad de que a veces pierde uno mucho la esperanza de muchas cosas, pero trataba en la canción de decir mucho acerca de por qué es importante tener esperanza, hasta que encontré una forma en la que pudiera tener siempre algo en las manos, de que me mostrara que es bueno tener esperanza para poder seguir.
Te confieso que yo siempre aquí te voy a esperar, no importa si es súplica de algo externo de este cuerpo y a punto de quebrar.
A lot of beautiful collective work in the room that helped us to get through, that helped us to recover, that helped us to heal. So we're going to name that. The first thing I want to name real quick Hello to all of our kids, youth, tweens, teens, young adults. Can I get y'all to just come up here for 1 second and I'm going to send you back to your kid cave. Oh, here we go. Here's our youngest. So I want this all around to see a big part of the work of recovery from Helene. So none of us have been through this. But I want to say how much these young people stepped up to this work. Late nights, long hours, and they were out there working as hard as the adults, moving water, moving food, packing things that needed to go, sorting diapers, greeting people, keeping us laughing, enjoying what I call snack islands. So if you weren't in our warehouse, there was an area right about here that had every snack known to humankind. Which was a big deal because in the first days after Helene, we didn't know if we were going to have food. None of us probably had much food. So it was really wild to go from that to the abundance of what we can do together as human beings. There is enough. So we enjoyed Snack Island and we enjoyed the toys back there. But I just want to thank you all publicly. Punch on if you want to say anything.
This generation is going to be one of the toughest generation, strongest generation because they came from the COVID and they faced the hurricane and they still going strong. So I think that we have a lot of hope for the future. They're going to be very strong and nothing is going to make them scared because they are ready for everything that can happen. So I'm proud to be working for many of the kids. Like many of the kids in the pandemic, many of them, they was not going to the school. So many of them was the kids that was helping us to distribute food directly to the houses of people. I remember somebody, she was very young, she was 8 years old, and she used to take food to the neighbor, and she knocked the door, and she left the food outside, and I was thinking, this is the kind of thing that we're supposed to be teaching, and they are teaching us. So I think there is a lot of hope. It's a lot of hope. So thank you for being here.
Raise your hand if you weren't working here, but you were somewhere else, in a different hub, yep. A lot of y'all were just like free agents. You were just like all over the place. Really powerful. We have Maggie here, who's one of our city council members. She was working really hard, doing really powerful work. But Maggie's being thrown into that whole thing. I can't. But doing systems level work, right? That stuff was really important, and still doing it, going strong, going hard. I want to talk about. I was coming to that. I'm so glad that you said that. So I don't know that y'all knew this, because probably most of y'all didn't see them, but we have Lauralee and Tom.
Part of the reason that we decided to stop a little bit of the work that we are doing and have a gathering is because we want to live in this with this feeling in our heart. We want to be this to be our part of the future, like making a better present for a greater future, and we want you to walk with us too. I think that we show the world what is possible, and we're gonna walk with this wow mentality. I can tell you my first story, or maybe my only story. I hope that more people open their hearts and they start sharing how they feel, how they remember this space. So many people, like you can imagine, many people want to interview us and they want to talk about us and or talk about the work that happened here. And many of the questions always are if we was not tired at this time when we was organizing and moving all these supplies. And I remember that we used to work like 20 hours every day and we sleep 4 hours. And this way was for many different weeks. Only my body never feel tired. My body was full of adrenaline, and I was thinking we have to do something. Only something that I never said before is that what was more hard and hard even to have the weight in top of me is that we used to have a line of 10 people all the time waiting for us to have an answer. And many people used to tell us all the stories, how they have a lot of pain after the hurricane, how they lost everything, how they lost the mother or the father or a son. And I was thinking, this is very hard to take. So we take it, and I remember that in one of these moments, I realized that we're supposed to be the hope. Then many people can see outside of this place. So many of these people that came, I was thinking, this is my hand and we're gonna do it. We're gonna rebuild. I believe that we're gonna do it. And if you live from here today, you have to live with a mentality that it's people that care about you and we're gonna walk together until a better future. Only at the night, before I went to bed, I would start writing different things and I start posting online about the different experience that I have, different stories that I was hearing. And later on, before I sleep, 1 hour straight every night for I think it was like 2 months, I was crying. And then I started talking with many different people and these people were saying, I cry every night too. Only I think part of the way of all this is like knowing that these people that people that live beside you, they lost everything, people that die in the hurricane. I remember, I guess other part of this, we live in Sonanoa, and one of the craziest part for me is that we saw like the craziness happening, and I always see this. I remember this day, it was like 9 o'clock, we came out from the house, we take the tractor out, so I start moving some trees. And was very painful to see like the trees in top of the houses, even before I came close to the Sonanoa River. And I remember that in one of the corners in a park that is called Grobmont, was a very massive tree that was in the middle of the street. So I tried to pick it up with a tractor and was impossible, was too big to pick it up. Only I saw in the middle of the destruction one of the more beautiful things that I haven't seen, that was neighbors that I never met, coming with chainsaws, with shovels, and we start cleaning this thing. We even talk about it. We never organize. We start doing and cutting and moving the trees away and open the streets, our streets. And you start seeing the people with the water until the neck inside their houses or in top of trees. And I remember people beside the river saying, "We're gonna wait. When the water came down, we're gonna rescue you." This happened 10 o'clock. I was there until 7 and people started walking in the water at 7 o'clock in the night and rescue these people. And I was thinking, this is one of the more beautiful things that I haven't seen. The other day somebody asking us the question if we want to forgive about what happened here. And we were saying, I never haven't feel more proud to call a place at home than this place, because all the things that I see, all the people that I met, all the people that I used to walk in many different places close to the area that we live, and I used to say, I don't know who lives in this house. Now I know who lives in this house and in the next house. And if something went wrong from after the hurricane, is that now we're gonna be stronger because we have the connections of every corner and every house and every people that live in every house. So if this happen again, we're gonna be, I hope that never happen. Only we are stronger than ever.
We have an altar up here, and you're welcome to come and look at it more deeply, but I'll tell you a little bit about it. So these are all things that were either found in debris piles or at the homes of people that were repairing or rebuilding. And then we asked for permission to bring into an altar. And so you'll see this dollhouse and a teddy bear. There's a work helmet. And many of the things are full of mud still, because this is what our lives look like. There's pieces of the root bar. Shout out to the root bar. Pieces of different people's lives. There's a clock back here. This is a piece of a clock that stopped on the day of the storm. Because time stopped for us. It truly, truly did. Over here, there's a window. This came from Beacon Village. They were working. There's some beautiful doves that are broken. And that seemed to be really apropos of our lives. We're very beautiful, and we're a little bit broken too. So that's up here on the altar. One of the things that I really love on this altar is last year we had a Dia de los Muertos gathering, and we were all particularly raw, but it was a powerful way. So funerals kind of have this way of leaving you just like in the grief and in the just tears, but Dia de los Muertos remembers that these people are still with us, right? And we celebrate and honor them and all the things that they loved in this life. And so before the altar and photos of people that we lost. We ate together, and we had a mariachi band, and we lit candles for them, and we had corn on the altar. We had all sorts of beautiful things on the altar. Well, come spring, I went over to the area where the altar was, and there was squash growing that had grown off the altar. There's a tomato plant. Some of y'all may have noticed it by the gate that sort of was planted from the tomatoes that we were eating that night. And then this corn fell off the altar and it grew itself. So there's corn plants up front. I moved them around up front and planted them. But this is corn that came off of the ofrenda from Dia de los Muertos last year. So I thought that was really powerful. And I love this as a fish. And I'm just reminded, some of y'all know one of the story that broke me in the storm. Pilar had gone out, and she'd gone way up into areas that were remote, and she met a little girl, and she came back and she told me this story. And when she told me the story, I went into the office and I just broke. I mean, I just cried, gut heaving sobs, and everybody was like, "What's wrong? Are you okay? Are you okay?" I thought something had happened to me. I was hurt. And I was hurt in a different way. But this little girl lost her mom in the storm. They were plunged into the water. And mom, as moms do, know that nothing's more important than their child. As she was holding her child, she realized that the water was too strong. And so she did the unthinkable out of mama's love. She hugged her as tightly as she could, and she said, "I love you, honey." And then she picked her up and she threw her on top of the roof, and she was swept away. And that little girl told Pilar, "Daddy says my mommy's a mermaid now. My mommy's a mermaid now." And so I like to think about the folks that we lost as being our mer people. And they're swimming through the afterlife, and they, I know, are here with us. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We need 6 more of us. Take a moment of silence and just bring out their hearts and souls and know that they are present with us tonight. Oh, who's going to go first?
That way doesn't. No? All right.
All right.
Thank you. Last offering. All right.
And we'll ring one for all those still missing. each life precious, each life that brought us so many gifts. Each life we will cherish, each life that goes on through all of us. And so, as custom in many places, we'll pour out libations, people from every place around us, elders, family. And so we remember them and we hold them, and we know that they go on through us. And so let us continue to keep their spirits alive. So we're going to close with this group poem. This one is a guitar, and it says, "BeLoved," and it looks like a song going out tonight.
Neighbor love.
Strength in community.
Resilience.
Mother Nature is speaking louder and clear. We are her children.
I'm sorry.
Held safely in pure vulnerability.
The abundance of divine providence, love is real.
Resilient beings.
Community.
Perseverance.
Connections.
Down but not broken.
New life breathed as all life remembered.
Community, strength, and hope.
Beloved.
Hope and gratitude.
Restored faith in humanity. Love for one another in hard times.
Love everybody.
Give pause.
No matter what.
Belonging.
Village. Big bubble letters.
Gratitude. Grateful to be with you all.
Kindness.
Unconditional love.
Full buckets. I could go a lot of ways after voting.
Helene pushed me to walk completely by faith. I did not know if we would survive. But God, we made it through the storm, and for that I am forever grateful. Love and gratefulness.
After the wind stops and the river recedes and the tears dry, clasped hands and love eternal.
Fortunate and grateful.
Wind, water, earth becomes mud and tears and shock and sadness. Hands reached out, voices soothed. Arms held each other as kindness rose higher than the flood.
Thank you for all what beloved Asheville did to our community. Thank you for lending your strength when ours was gone. Thank you for bringing light in the storm.
If water holds memory, I know each lost soul will live on everlasting in our rivers and hearts. In days of heavy loss, brilliance of love and resilience arose from the rubble, reminding us we are all one, a family, no one left behind nor forgotten.
Thank you for everything.
Thank you for everything. Thank you for everything. Thank you for everything.
I was able to speak with some of the survivors. This year was 20 years from Katrina. And we was able to speak with many different people, and hearing the stories of the different people that we met there. What we got from there is the first step after the hurricane is survival. So you need the water, the food, start cleaning the streets, and from there, like the next thing that you have to do is rebuild. So you start rebuilding all the things that were destroyed. And the next step from there is how we can rebuild our soul, because we're gonna be in a collective trauma. So we have to have rooms like this where we can feel okay, crying or laughing.